Up, you guys, it's your girl Angel Sky coming at you per usual for Teen Mom Talk Tuesday. As you can tell, it is not Tuesday, it is Wednesday. Yes, I know, and I apologize. I actually had the biggest migraine of my life yesterday. It was horrible. It was hard to get through the day. It was just a really bad day. So didn't want to put my miserableness onto you guys because you would have felt it because I was in so much pain with my head. But I'm not going to skip my Teen Mom Talk Tuesdays because I know you guys like it. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so first up, let's switch it up a little bit. First up, we'll start with Brianna. So Brianna went to New York to meet up with Louis and also see her boo as well. So I feel like the meeting with Louis went really well, but at the same time, I feel like he always does that. I feel like he always acknowledges that he doesn't do enough, that he doesn't help enough, that he doesn't pay enough, but he never actually does something. And I feel like he always says, oh, I'm gonna show you rather than tell you. I'm gonna show you rather than tell you. But to this day, Stella's a year and he still hasn't done it. So I just don't believe him. He seems really sincere when he says it, but then he turns around and literally doesn't do it. So I'm kind of sick of that. I'm kind of over it. I'm obviously upset with him because Stella is so beautiful. She's so amazing. She's had so many rough times since she's been born and she's only a year. And it would have been really nice for her to have her father's support and for Brianna to have the father's support. But he's been absent pretty much the entire time. He was there for a couple of weeks when she was born, and pretty much that's about it. So honestly, this time, I really hope that Louis steps up. I'm very proud of Brianna for filing child support on him because I do feel like he needs to help. Daycare is a huge bill. You know, it's hard for her to afford it on her own. He needs to help. He is the dad. He needs to help support if he's not going to be there physically, at least help financially. You know, like you're a single guy, you have a job, you can help your daughter. So I'm very happy that she had that talk with him, especially face to face, because you can really get a feel and a gauge on somebody's expressions and actions when you're seeing them face to face. So I was happy about that. Her and her boo seemed really good. I feel like at first he was kind of like iffy about her meeting Louis. He's like, oh, behave. Like he seemed supportive, but I don't know. It seemed like it did kind of bother him a little bit. I don't know if it's because she was there and she was only there for a short period of time and he didn't want to share her, or he was just bothered by the fact that she went to go see her baby dad. So I'm really not sure how he feels about the whole situation, or having you know, being with somebody who has multiple baby daddies, who has to deal with them on a day-to-day basis. So I'm not really sure. I just, you know, I know he doesn't have any kids, and that is a lot to step into, like she said. I mean, she has a lot of baggage that comes along with her, not just her and her kids and her family, but then you're talking about MTV, the publicity, the cameras in your face all the time, like everything's so much out in the open. So that's a lot for somebody to deal with. And I really hope that he's up for the task because he really honestly does seem like a good guy. The only thing I could say is sometimes, you know, when a guy doesn't have kids, it's hard for him to find his place with somebody else's kids, but maybe he will do great. You know, you just kind of have to see, and I'm glad she's waiting for him to meet the girls because you don't want a whole bunch of men coming in and out of your daughter's life. So good job on that, Brianna. So let's move on to Janelle, since she just, again, had like a little clip in there. It wasn't like super long. So she apparently had to have emergency sinus surgery. She's saying that she was in pain all over, which kind of like goes back to a couple years ago when she was saying that she had pain all over and everything hurt and it hurt, and she just, no matter what she did or how she moved, she was in so much pain. And I really hope that wasn't because all of a sudden one day it just stopped. So I don't know if she was looking for a prescription or it was really, something that she was going through. It's really hard to tell. But I really hope that she is careful, especially after this surgery. I hope that she's careful. She has had a problem in the past with taking medications as they weren't prescribed. So hopefully that's not the case now, because she has a lot to do, a lot to deal with, a lot on her plate, and she needs to be 100% to be able to deal with that. Also, we saw a clip of Jace's dad. So I'm kind of thinking we're gonna be seeing him more, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if he got older and was just wondering about Jace or wanting to be in Jace's life. I don't know what all of a sudden made him want to see his son. I'm obviously very happy about it. Jace should see his father, but I hope he's a good fit for Jace. I hope he's a good mentor and, somebody that he can look up to. But I guess we'll see. I know Barbara will be all over it. They're already super leery, so I'm sure they won't rush into anything. Barbara's on the job. She's got it covered. So that's pretty much it for Janelle. As far as Chelsea goes, I'm so happy about her decision, because they were going back and forth since Paisley. Adam gave up rights to Paisley, which is Aubrey's sister. They were going back and forth whether they wanted to give up rights or make Adam give up rights to Aubrey. And I really think that Aubrey is very young to make a decision like that. I'm so happy that she has Cole and he's amazing. But I think Aubrey is very torn. And I think she's like the type of person who just wants to make everybody happy all the time and doesn't ever want to upset somebody. And that's why I feel like she feels torn. And I don't want her to feel like she has to choose between her dad and Cole, because that's not fair for a little girl to have to decide. She doesn't know all the facts, and even if she does know all the facts, she cannot comprehend them all, So I don't know. I'm very happy that Chelsea made that decision. It's very good. Everything's fine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's nothing wrong with the current situation. She still gets to see her grandmother. Whatever happens with Adam, that's on him. That's on his soul. He's going to have to, want to change. So all we can do is hope for the best. And I'm just so happy that she made that decision, because I feel like it was a very hasty decision for her to make right away. And I'm so happy that Cole would gladly stand in his place. That just shows you how much of an amazing man and father he is. He was eager to take that place. So that's really good. And she does think of Cole as a father figure. So at least when Adam slips up, she always has that solid foundation, which is Cole. She will understand that one day, and she will really respect it. Right now, it's hard to understand being so young, but she'll get it one day, and Cole deserves that. He's a really great guy. So for Leah, finally, Addie got to spend time with her dad. And, I guess she had like a talk with him, with Jeremy, Addie's father, about, spending more time while he's here. And, I know she probably did it very simplified, and I feel like it should have been more in depth, because I don't believe he truly knows how much damage he's doing to her. So, I think next time they talk, it should be a little bit more of a kind of like a sit down talk, and kind of make him understand what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, understand what he's doing, the effect that it's having on Addie, and kind of like take it from there. But I really think she needs to have a more serious conversation with him and sit down and really make sure that he takes more time out for her. I get that you work far away and you have to go do what you got to do, but there's other options. You can FaceTime, you can pick her up more. You're in town, you just choose not to. So he really needs to step up to the plate and do what he has to do as a dad, because you took on that role. You can't just do it part-time. It's not a part-time role. Being a father and a mother is a full-time job. So when you're slacking, your kids know it. They can feel it, and they think, being young, it's all my fault. Why doesn't my daddy want to see me? Why doesn't he love me? How come the twins' daddy always see their dad, but I don't ever get to see my dad? How come their dad always wants to spend time with them, but my dad doesn't? She's gonna have a complex like that, and that's not fair. And all you gotta do is take more time out for your kid. Like, why is that too much to ask? So that's Leah. I saved Kaylin for the last because, y'all, when I tell you I stood up off of my couch and I was clapping, I couldn't. Number one, have you noticed no matter where Kaylin goes, she is always in an awkward situation. When she goes to see Javi and his girlfriend, awkward. Now when she goes to see Joe and his wife, awkward. Like, do you not see a pattern here? You swear it's everybody else, but the common denominator is you. So the part, because I was fighting her, like literally I'm talking at the TV, like, Kaylin, grow up, grow up. Why can't you just grow up? Just talk to him. Like, why are you making it awkward for your son to be around both his mom and his dad? Don't make it awkward for him. That's so mean. If you don't think he sees this, you're crazy. Every time you and Joe get together, you talk, you hug, you say hi, how you doing? You have conversations. Now all of a sudden, that stopped. You don't look at each other. You don't say hi. You don't talk to each other. You don't think Isaac's gonna notice that? Of course he's gonna notice that. And how long do you want this to go on for? Like her friend said, somebody has to be the bigger person and talk about it. Not for you, not for him, but for your son. Those are the choices that you have to make as an adult and as a mother, to be the bigger person, so that your son can live a happier life. Because he's not gonna be happy seeing his mom and his dad ignoring each other the whole time and making it awkward. When you're in an awkward situation, I don't care how old you are, you can feel it. And when her friend came over and was giving it to her, like, well, I think you're wrong. Well, I think you should talk to him. Well, I think you're acting like a child. Literally everything her friend said out of her mouth is already what I said. I already said that. So when she had pretty much like verbatim said what I said, I just couldn't help it. I was like standing up, I was like clapping, I was like, yes. But yet, still, she wanted to be ignorant and not take her friend's advice. Like acting like a 2-year-old. Like, no, I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say. No, I'm not going to talk to him. Oh, well, too bad. He wants a payday. It's like, okay, well, if you guys share 50-50 custody and he's been paying you child support for the past 2 years, that doesn't make any sense. You make way more money than he does, and he's been paying you child support in something that he's been 50-50 at. That doesn't make any sense. If somebody has 50-50 custody, there shouldn't be any child support, because you're here 50% of the time and then you're here 50% of the time. You cover food, you have your own clothes, and at the other person's house. So why would there need to be child support for 50-50 custody? That doesn't make any sense. I feel like she should owe him whatever that he gave her for the past couple years, and then they call it even and they walk away, and that's it. I don't feel like anybody needs to pay anybody child support. You both have him 50-50. You both can do what you want at your different houses, raise him a certain way. And just because Kaylin has money doesn't mean he should get everything he wants to get just because the mom has money. You know, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, your kids still need to understand the value of money. And if you're just giving them whatever they want, whenever they want it, then they'll never understand the value of it. They'll just degrade money like it's nothing that you can just throw away whenever. Somebody worked really hard for that money, and you should think about the things you spend with it. So I was just really upset when I saw that, and I was just like literally standing up, clapping, and yet she didn't even take her friend's advice, and you could tell she was super irritated because her friend had said that on camera. But to me, I was like, that's your friend and she's telling you that. Why would your friend steer you wrong or give you bad advice? She's not. She's just telling you to grow up and act like an adult, like you are, and be a good mother to your son and squash the beef. So there doesn't need to be like any awkward situations for him. I could go on and on about that situation because I just feel like it's ridiculous. I feel like she puts herself into these situations because no matter where she goes, it's always awkward because she got an attitude. I feel like with Teen Mom, she's getting way too big for her britches. She's just feeling like untouchable. She's feeling like she's just, Beyonce. She needs to bring it back, humble yourself, and do what you have to do for your kids. All the other girls do it. Look at Chelsea. Look at Brianna. Like, nobody else acts like that besides maybe Janelle, and that's probably why they don't get along. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to act like I'm bad mouthing. It just really irritated me when that whole thing went down. So that pretty much wraps it up for my Teen Mom Talk Tuesday. I am so sorry I'm doing this on Wednesday. I apologize, you guys. My head was pounding. I actually haven't had a migraine in a very long time, so it hit me super hard yesterday. So I'm feeling much better today, as you can tell. I did just upload a curly hair tutorial, so go check that out. And I love you guys so much, and as always, I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.